Hello everybody and welcome to another live stream on the channel. Today we'll have Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest live preview. Let me just move this up and I will move over to here. So today we will have 5 topics. England versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, I will get onto that later. If you watch this cycling at the bottom, you'll be able to understand why. Predicted team for Nottingham Forest, past fixtures, next fixtures, injury situation. So, I am going to start off with, if I can find it, here. England versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, if you didn't know, England will host Bosnia and Herzegovina at St James's Park in June, I believe it is. It is. In June, Newcastle United tweeted out, England are coming to St James's Park. The Three Lions will face Bosnia and Herzegovina in Newcastle this June ahead of Euro 2024. Now, whether I will be able to get tickets for this, I don't know. I will obviously try and get them. But as far as I am aware, Newcastle United fans will not get priority for tickets as it's an England game. No loyalty points will be needed for this game, and we don't get an early access or anything, so it will just go on to the public as it usually is. Won't go to Newcastle fans separately, it'll just be through England, through all of that. Newcastle United will basically have no say in this, in these ticket sales. All Newcastle will do is provide the football, So Newcastle won't get any priorities, fans won't get any priorities. It will be the same as like how it would be at Wembley. No one gets priorities if it's through England. And the next thing we are going to talk about is the predicted team, my predicted team for this game, and you can see it on the left. I'll run through it. So number 1, Martin Dubravka. That's quite self-explanatory. He's obviously came in for Nick Pope. He's done quite a good job. Obviously his first few games were a bit shaky, but you'd expect that from him because he's not played in a while. But I feel like he's set his feet. Burn, Botman, Shaw and Trippier are the obvious 4 at the back. They're pretty much the 4 at the back that'll play every single week. Miley, Bruno, Longstaff, I think I don't want to rush Harvey Barnes into the starting 11 because we'll just have the same thing. He'll get injured and we'll have another injury crisis. So Miley is perfectly fine, so we can keep him in instead of Harvey Barnes for a bit. Bruno and Longstaff probably will always play until they're injured. Gordon looked okay. Actually, looked quite good against Luton. Against Villa, he was very good. And Eddie Howe will always pick him. I feel like he's just one of them favourites. Almiron, I want him to play Gordon on the right and Almiron on the left. Because Almiron on the left is unreal. When on the right, he'll have to cut back onto his left and then get it in because he can't use his right. Where if he's on the left, he's just running down and getting it straight into the box, which I think is what made our 3rd goal against Aston Villa. So 100% keep him in the team and put him on the left instead of the right. And up top, Callum Wilson. Not sure if Isak's injured, but obviously he came off against Villa and wasn't in the squad against Luton. Not sure how long he's going to be out for, but Callum Wilson, I feel, comes in for me every day. Next, I want to go on to the past fixtures now. Newcastle United haven't been on a great run. So, I mean, we've started to pick up form, I'd say, after the winter break, but the last game was obviously Luton 4, Newcastle 4. A bit disappointing because obviously it was at home. We were expected to absolutely blow Luton out of the park at home. But that's not really been the case, has it? So it's a bit of a disappointing one, but we're 4-2 down at one point, so to get a 4-4 draw is good from that. To get 4-2 down is a bit embarrassing in itself. We then played Aston Villa the game before that, which was unbelievable. Villa didn't play too great, but I feel overall we were obviously 100% the better side, and we played quite well against Aston Villa. So that's a positive. Fulham in the cup. Obviously you can see this coming along the bottom here. Newcastle will travel to Blackburn Rovers in the 5th round. And obviously because we beat Fulham 2-0. Comfortable, didn't really have to get out of 3rd or 4th gear. I mean, did we even have to get out of 2nd gear? Not really. It was a bit of a boring game from the neutral perspective. Newcastle 2, Man City 3 was a great result. Not a great result in what it got in the table, but I feel like in what it got us is in confidence levels. Obviously, just before the winter break, we'd won 1 out of the last God knows however many. To get 2 goals against Man City, to go 2-1 up is a great achievement. A lot of teams concede goals against Man City, and a lot more than 3. So to only concede 3, and in itself scoring 2 goals against Man City is a very positive result. Newcastle 3, Sunderland 0 was a big game. On paper, if you saw it from like someone who doesn't say football, and you just see like statistics and that, you'd say Newcastle are going to hammer them. It means nothing to either team. Newcastle, obviously the first derby that we've played against them since 2016. Not won in absolutely ages over them, and to get 1 over them, basically to kind of shut them up, and also to just overtake them in derby wins was great for the fans, for the players, and just to humble the Malcolms. And then, but before that, it was 3 straight losses on the bounce. It might have even been 4. It was 5 on the bounce. Bournemouth. No, that was too soon, I think. It was 3 on the bounce because it was Luton 1-0, Forest 3-1, and Liverpool 4-2. So the past fixtures haven't really been great. It's been 3 wins out of 10. So that needs to change, and hopefully we can get the 4th against Forest. The next fixtures is what I want to get on to, because the reason we are here is for the Forest preview. Now, Nottingham Forest are doing quite mediocre, I think, for their standards. They drew to Bristol in the FA Cup, then beat them on penalties in the replay. Drew to Bournemouth, obviously got beat Arsenal, that's not much to be ashamed of. Brentford beat them, they beat Blackpool after extra time, after drawing with them. And then they beat Man United, which isn't necessarily very difficult. They are sat 16th in the table, which isn't horrific. But realistically, Newcastle sitting 9th, we should beat these. There's a 7 place gap in the middle. In the middle of both teams is, my things just reset. Wolves, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Fulham, Palace and Brentford sit in the middle of the 2 teams. 12-point gap, so that's 4 wins different. So realistically, we should be beating them. However, Newcastle's away form, we all know, has been awful this season. So I'll take anything. And finally, the injury situation. So obviously we've had Harvey Barnes just come back from injury. Pope's been out for a while. I think that got pushed forward to March. However, I wouldn't rush it. Just take your time. They did give with May, so I feel May would be fine. May would be fine realistically. We've got Martin Dubravka in, who's doing a good job. So just don't rush it. Don't feel like we have to get him in by March. We've just got Harvey Barnes back. It's a massive boost. Obviously, he came on for like 20 minutes against Luton and got a goal. A great goal at that. So that's always a positive to see players like that coming back from a lengthy injury and just getting a kickstart straight away. So that's excellent. Joelinton, he was set to be out for the end for a while. I don't know if he's been pushed forward. I'm not sure if anything's come out on that. So Joelinton's still injured. Isak obviously came off against Aston Villa and wasn't shown in the squad against Luton, so that's a worrying sign. Obviously left Villa Park not in a great way. Was it him or was it Gordon who left on crutches? I think it was Gordon. And I think I now look stupid for putting Gordon in my predicted team. Because if I go on to the Luton lineups. Oh no, so he left St James's Park on crutches. So I'm going to change my predicted team and not put him in. But there's players like Jacob Murphy that I didn't even include. So it's obviously good that we're getting more squad depth. So we're getting players back. We need them. Realistically, sitting in 9th isn't good enough considering last season. We need a good run, and hopefully this is where it can start. We have got Forest, Bournemouth, Arsenal, Blackburn, Wolves, Chelsea, Palace, so we can pick up a few points there. And the FA Cup's all we are looking for, so that's a big game against Blackburn in the 5th round. But yeah, that's all for the preview. If you enjoy the stream, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the match reaction against